Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I will show you how I made this brown butter pecan cheesecake. Okay, first what we're going to do is we're going to brown the butter, and so I'm putting the butter in a saucepan, and you want to do this over medium heat because you want to be able to monitor how quickly the butter cooks and brown, so you don't want to do it over high heat. Now, I was having issues with this little electric burner I have because I haven't used it in a while, and I forgot how the settings work. And so I think I was on high, and I wasn't meaning to be on high, but you can see I'm adjusting, and the butter's cooking very, very quickly. As you see, it's starting to foam up, and once it starts browning, and this can happen very, very quickly, once it starts browning, you really want to keep a very, very close eye on it, because you don't want it to burn. It can go from brown to burn very quickly. All right, now it is finished, so I'm going to put it in like a measuring cup so it can cool down quicker. And I'm going to stick it in the fridge because I need it to cool down before I add it to my cheesecake. All right, we've got 1.5 cups of pecans, 2 tablespoons of light brown sugar, and 2 tablespoons of salted butter. If you're using unsalted, you can add some salt. All right, we're going to melt the butter and mix together the brown sugar and the pecans. Right now, what I'm trying to do is get all the clumps of the brown sugar, break up the clumps. So you see I'm over here chopping the clumps and trying to make sure that the brown sugar is kind of incorporated in with the pecans. Now I'm going to add the butter to the pecans. I'm going to mix it up and make sure and coat everything with the butter. And now I'm going to put everything on a sheet pan because we're going to toast this at 350 for 5 to 7 minutes. All right, and this is what the pecans look like after they've been toasted. Don't they look yummy? All right, we've got 1 stick of butter melted, 2 cups of graham cracker crumbs, 2/3 cup of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. So we're going to combine all these ingredients. This is going to come together and make your crust. And so I'm just going to stir everything together until it's nice and incorporated. And then once I do that, I'm going to pour the crust into the bottom of a 9-inch cake pan that I've sprayed and lined with parchment paper. And I'm just going to smooth it out and make sure that it's even. And then I'm going to bake it at 325 for 10 minutes. And once it's finished baking, you're going to just take it out and set it aside. All right, now we've got our brown butter that has cooled down. Three 8-ounce packages of cream cheese at room temperature. 1/2 cup of sugar. 3/4 cup of light brown sugar. 4 large eggs at room temperature. 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. 3/4 cup of sour cream at room temperature. We'll be using about 1 tablespoon of vanilla and 1 cup of the toasted pecans that we made earlier. All right, now we're going to beat the cream cheese, sugar, and light brown sugar together on low speed until everything is, nice and creamy. This will probably take a few minutes. I would say about 3 to 4 minutes. And now we're going to stop the mixer and scrape down the sides. And then we're going to add the sour cream. The vanilla and the brown butter. And you want to make sure you get all those brown bits because that's where all the flavor is. All right, continue beating on low speed for a few minutes until it's nice and creamy. And then you're going to add your eggs one at a time and allow each egg to be incorporated before you add the next one. Don't do like I did and add 2 of them at the same time. I think they just fell in. So, yeah. I mean, I guess things happen. Nothing is ever perfect. Just continue letting that mix on low speed. Of course, scrape down the sides when everything looks like it's been incorporated. And then just once you scrape down the sides again, I usually increase the speed to medium and let it go for about 30 seconds to a minute, just to make sure that everything is nice and mixed and incorporated. And now we're going to fold in the pecans, the toasted pecans. Just fold them in and stir them in. And now you're going to pour the cheesecake batter into on top of the crust. And now I'm just going to drop it on the counter a few times to really get those air bubbles out. You know, this just helps you have a smoother cheesecake. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bake this in a water bath. I've turned the oven down to 300 and I've placed the cheesecake pan inside of a larger pan. And I'm going to be filling the larger pan with hot water. Enough hot water until the water level comes up to about halfway up the side of the cheesecake pan. And you want to be very careful not to get any water on the cheesecake. And I'm going to bake this at 300 for about an hour and 5 minutes. And once the hour and 5 minutes is up, the center should be set, but it might be still be a little jiggly. That's fine. You want to turn off the oven and allow the cheesecake to stay in there for 30 minutes with the door closed. After that 30 minutes is up, you want to crack the door open and then allow the cheesecake to stay in there for an additional 30 minutes. After that second 30 minutes is up, you want to take it out of the water bath and allow it to cool, and then refrigerate it overnight. All right, now I'm going to show you how I get the cheesecake out of the cake pan. Now, the cheesecake has been chilled overnight, and so what I've done is I've taken a cake board and wrapped saran wrap around it and put it on the top and then flipped over the cake pan. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a torch, like a creme brulee torch, and I'm going to run it over the bottom and the sides of the pan to loosen the spray, the nonstick spray that I sprayed in the pan. This is going to loosen it or heat it up so that the cheesecake will kind of loosen from the bottom and the sides, and it'll be easier for it to come out. So that's just what I'm doing. I'm just heating it up so that that grease will just will not be will not be like glue, so to speak. So now I'm going to tap the bottom of the pan, just try to loosen that cheesecake, and now I'm just going to drop it a few times. And because the cheesecake is chilled, it's going to be fine. It's not going to like destroy it or anything like that. And here it is. It's coming down. Oh, there it is. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my actual cake board and I'm going to spread some frosting that I had in the freezers, like cream cheese frosting. The purpose of the frosting is to act as a glue so that the cheesecake won't be rolling around or sliding around on the cake board. And now I'm just going to flip it back over. And there you have it. Remove that top board. And there's your cheesecake. You can always adjust it on the board. And now I'm going to take some caramel, drizzle it all over the top. And this is just how I'm going to finish off the cheesecake. All right, and there you have it, guys. Brown butter pecan cheesecake.